Hello everyone, Craig Mack here, Liberty Bell Beekeeper. So I'm doing a little update on the swarm trap bees that I got late last week. They've been in this trap now this nuke box 5 days, and we're just going to take a look, see what we got going on. So I picked this swarm up the 19th. It's now the 24th. So technically, I guess it's only 4 days, but take a look. I want to get this queen found and marked. I didn't spot her the night I was here, but look at that. 4 days. The outside frame is already drawn, probably 75% of the way, and just beautiful. Just beautiful. I love that new wax. They're drawing nice and straight. I got eggs in a lot of cells, some nectar being put away. All the beautiful things. I think I started this perhaps with one frame that might have had something in it, but I don't recall. Part of the reason, I think it might have had partially drawn wax in it, because I got capped brood in here already. That's weird, I got capped brood in here already. So maybe it's been longer than I thought. So I'm looking for my queen. That is weird. Wait a second. That's, I think, you know what it was? They had some, this had some wax drawn with brood in it already. So it would make sense that I have capped brood. But I've got eggs, nectar, pollen coming in, all the good things. So when I dumped this swarm in this box, I didn't find the queen that night. It's obvious now that she's in this box. So I'm looking to mark her today. I prefer foundationless frames. Some of the issues with foundationless frames are things like this, where they start to build across frames. But if you're in here early enough, when they're building, you can kind of correct that. So I'll probably, adjust this wax a little bit. You can see they're building kind of a little bit wonky, but it's not an unmanageable amount of twist in my mind, or for my tastes. But I like to, like I said, I like to correct that as soon as possible, because just as I get to this next frame, they got a little bit going on here as well, and that happens sometimes. But if I can correct it now with this brand new wax, usually they'll straighten out. Sometimes what I'll do is, when they start building into other frames, I will flip those frames after I correct one and they repair it, and it's back to straight. So these frames were going into the next frame this way, so I'll take this and I'll adjust this back where I want it, and then I'll flip the frame around so that it's got a nice flat spot that they'll be building up against on the next frame. It can be sometimes a little bit tricky when you're not dealing with foundation. You get into some of these problems, but they're easily managed if you get on them quickly. You can see here, oh, and I do have this queen. She is marked, so I don't have to worry about marking her, but I do want to fix this. I do want to fix this piece of comb up here. I want to get that out of there, and I'm going to flip this frame around, like I said, and orient it in a way that they're not going to build crooked anymore with these frames. So I have the queen on this. I'm going to do this over the hive because it is new wax. It's really soft. I'm just going to take that little piece. I hate to take it out of there because it's work that they've done, but sometimes that's just the breaks. You just gotta twist it. Sometimes you can just move it. In that instance, I just kind of straightened it without breaking it, and then I flipped it around so that way when they start to build into those spaces, that wonky comb's not going to be there. Again, this one I'm just going to press in and line it up with the rest of this. See, and I can do that when this is nice and soft. And generally speaking, when you do that, you can eliminate that cross combing before it becomes a real problem. Also, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my center frame, which I oftentimes start with wax, and I'll set that in the center, or I'll reposition that to the outside because that's drawn nice and straight. And then my other frames will correct themselves. I was kind of hoping that they were going to not do this, but again, when you get on top of it early, you can correct these problems before they arise. And they're almost done drawing these frames out, which is great because that should be corrected and it shouldn't be a problem anymore. So that's just one thing that I like to do. That's one thing that I like to do when I get when I use foundationless frames and I get a new swarm building. If I don't have a fully drawn comb and my starter strip just doesn't work for the cross combing, I'll keep an eye on it for that first week and watch them while they build and make sure that I'm not getting any of those issues and correct it right away. Super important to correct that right away. And most times when you do, you don't have a problem after that. So hope that was a little informative and helpful. See you later.